be the first to say it. Maybe not the first, but definitely not the last. And I think that corporate is pretty overrated. Welcome to this episode of Navigating My 20s from Matt, Invest Matt, me. Where do you even start? In your 20s, that's pretty much when you finish high school, college, and just start working. And once you start working, you soon realize that corporate is nice for the first 6, 12, 18 months. And then you start questioning, do I want to do this for the rest of my life? Most times we go into a job mainly for the income that it provides, the stability that it provides, and sometimes for the status. Sometimes having a job that we dreamed of when we were a kid might be the ticket out and the chance for freedom. Sometimes being in the same job for another 6, 12, 18 months also erases a lot of your freedom. And there's this thing called the golden handcuffs. And if you don't know what that is, it is essentially you're pretty much handcuffed to your job, your career, your profession because, well, the money that it provides. You've changed your lifestyle so much that you need to have this job. You are handcuffed to this job. This job is the only thing that is going to give you that money, that stability, that lifestyle that you desire to have. After you realize, there's the golden handcuffs and you probably shouldn't fall victim to changing your lifestyle for the higher end things and trading your time for money all of the time where it might not be worth it all of the time, then you start to realize, like, am I enjoying life for myself or am I enjoying life to impress other people, to have things that other people have that I would want? Does it make you feel better at the end of the day? Most times, if you ask your true self, does buying something allow me to feel better about myself? And I think it's very conditional as to what it is, right? If you're buying a new car, it lasts maybe 6 months until you just see it as a car to get you from point A to point B. But if it's something that is immaterial, that is going to add so much happiness to your life, like I don't know, new hobby, like a super cool Rubik's Cube that you're going to devote time into to solve over and over and have this knack in your brain become unlocked, then sometimes those hobbies are worth all the while. And I think once you start growing up, you start having adult money that is able to fund hobbies. And once you have these hobbies, they're very expensive to get into one, and they're very time consuming. So a lot of the times you find yourself spending most of your time sleeping, finding most of your time working, and spending the rest of your time hanging out with friends or doing your hobbies. So that is something to take into mind here that you're only strapped or you're strapped for so much time in this world that you really need to be intentional after you enter the workforce or after you become an adult because you will lose a lot of time if you don't find things to do in the meantime. Before you know it, 20-year-olds will become 30 and 30-year-olds will become 40 and 40s will become 50s. I know we hate to hear that we are aging, but I found out that I'm pretty old. I'm pretty dated. Like they call me Unk now. Whatever that means. I get it. It's the trade-off of growing up, growing old. But who knew that adulting would be this hard? You need to budget for things. You need to make sure that you're saving for retirement, but at the same time, you need to buy groceries and make sure that your relationships are still in check and you're still keeping up with your college friends that you don't want these relationships to perish. So you hang out with them on the weekends, even though it might not be the best because you're out there doing activities that aren't good for your body. But at the end of the day, that's what we enjoy. All power to us to do it. But everything in moderation, of course, right? If you know something isn't good for your body, maybe do it every other week instead of every week. That might be the resolution to a lot of going outs. Sometimes a good, wholesome time with friends is all that you need. And that is going to be the difference. for your happiness. When you can find that group or that person to be your backbone, your rock, the people that you go to confide in things, your biggest, darkest secrets that they would take to the grave, even though only two can keep a secret if one of them is dead. Like that's what Pretty Little Liars said. But I think once you find a great group of people to spend your time with, life is going to be worthwhile. At the end of the day, humans are social creatures that depend on interactions and social interaction with one another. It's that caring for one another, that nurturing, which is why so many people would like to become parents. And once you become a parent, there's a switch in your brain that just changes. You don't care about what people think anymore so much. You don't really are you're not keeping up with the Joneses as much. You focus on yourself and your family. And let me know if you guys agree, because I'm not a parent myself, but I've heard of that. And they say that everybody should, or if they have the option to, should go out and create a family because that is the one of the better things in life to put your time and efforts towards. Let me know if you guys have families. Like, are you guys changed from when you guys went into the workforce and this magical switch happened to where you're serving your families and your babies and that's all that matters to you? Because that would make the most sense too. The next topic that I kind of want to get into is enjoying work as it comes and as well as balancing your work life. I know like working becomes this strenuous activity that we have to go to every single day, 5 days a week, 9 to 5, if not 9 to 7 sometimes, if not more. So, how do we become fulfilled in our careers and in our hobbies and in our passions? It really comes down to taking your authentic self and asking your authentic self, what would you do if money didn't matter in this world and nobody was watching? You could do that all day long. And if you do that in the meantime of your pastimes, like your free time, you might find fulfillment. I think that is one of the ways that you are able to truly feel happy with life. And I don't know, and I can't speak for everybody, but something that I truly love is going out into the wilderness and fishing. That I can do for hours on end, spend any weekend, but it's hard for me now to find the time to do that. But everything needs to be intentional. I feel that if I am more intentional with my time, I can go out there, go do that fishing that I love so much, and just make content about it. I feel like catching cooks would be the coolest thing in the world. But I have a 9 to 5 from Monday through Friday that I need to tend to. So that's the other thing. When you enjoy it so much and you want to make a career out of something like a passion, the passions might lead to jobs, but then your jobs might not be enjoyed by us as much. We know that if we're forced to do something and we're relying on it for income, it just becomes like a normal job. And then it takes that life out of our hobbies. So maybe to answer this question, your hobbies should stay hobbies, your job should stay your job, and you should live your job to feel your hobbies until you find something that is truly worthwhile for you to pursue. A passion, a problem that you can turn into a profitable business. If you care so much about a new invention that the world doesn't have, then I think you would actually enjoy building that business and growing it and sharing that with the world. It's not to say that like you can't have hobbies outside of that. I think if you found some really cool way to tie a hook onto a fishing pole or a fishing line and monetize that as a business, you could still love fishing. But it's that the direct correlation of doing your hobby because you need to in order to have an income takes the fun out of any hobby. So tread carefully in your hobbies. Don't truly make all of your hobbies relied on for income, and you might actually be happy. I haven't cracked it myself. I haven't found happiness, but this is what I truly believe as I've kind of matured throughout the years and lived through life and lived through a couple of hobbies. Live and be yourself. Don't live for other people. Life's too short to regret not doing anything. And if you find a problem that's worthwhile to solve, you should solve it because nobody is going to have that grit and determination like you will. And I think that's pretty much anything or everything that I've had to say today. And I really hope that you guys took something out of this video, enjoyed it, because I kind of like just talking to the camera raw like this, and it's kind of fun for me. Let me know if you guys have a really cool hobby, or if you guys made it to this video, what's something that you can do for hours on end that you want to share with the world that you haven't yet? That's interesting to see. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, please, because we are making it so far in this channel, and I really hope to grow a little bit more, just a little bit. So thank you guys so much, and peace out.